Right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is BC. Welcome back to another evening live that we're doing here from my home Team BC headquarters, not the office. I wanted to come on and talk with you guys about some stuff today that I think is really important. I've really been enjoying doing the live broadcasts, even just looking at the analytics. I think my live broadcasts are getting even more views than my regular stuff, still because my channel isn't monetized yet. So we're going to keep on keeping on. I know some of the content I've been putting out lately has really been blowing up. And we continue to keep pushing stuff out and making sure that we stay ahead of all of that. And this platform, again, once it gets monetized, I know it's just going to explode like my previous one, right? So let's get started. Let me turn on my little banner, right? Just a couple of quick housekeeping items. The Precise Communication Challenge, I will be doing the day after Christmas, the 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. Make sure that you sign up for that if you're somebody who follows me who's really interested in becoming better conversationally, sales-wise, marketing-wise. That's going to be a very intense 4-day program. Make sure that you sign up. Also, my new low-ticket program for new salespeople and entrepreneurs, the Agagi program. Make sure you check that out. Any new Agagi member up until Christmas will get the Precise Communication Challenge for free. All the other links to the website and everything else are in the description. Let's talk cultural stereotypes. I'm going to get into a lot today. There's a lot, man. And we live in a finicky world, dude, right? You'll have moments where your culture will embrace you, right? Or it won't. And let me break this down for you guys just so you can understand how this affects everybody in their daily life, especially in this era, right? We live in an era where more than ever, even though you think with the internet and social media, people wouldn't be so fucking ignorant, people make assumptions about us. Okay? Now, we know that. Everybody knows that. However, what I'm referring to today is that shit working against you. Okay? My family's from South America, right? I'm the first one in my family born on American soil. First generation American myself, right? I am the only native English speaker in my family, and Spanish was the first language that I learned, and I didn't learn English until my parents sent me off to school. And when do you go to school? Preschool, kindergarten, 5, 6 years old, something like that. I went into school not speaking or understanding a fucking word of English. I was raised speaking Spanish. Okay? Now, I don't have an accent when I speak English, so people don't know. Right? I used to a little bit, got rid of it. Now I speak both languages completely fluent, native speaker, Spanish, English, doesn't matter, right? Even now since I moved to Miami, I use Spanish a lot more because a lot more people approach me in Spanish. So it's cool, right? People I meet on the street, at stores, everywhere, right? People I train with, friends, English, Spanish, it doesn't matter. But I went to school only speaking Spanish. So I remember even my parents telling me stories where one or two of the teachers are like, what the fuck, is your son retarded? Like he doesn't speak English. Other teachers were like, you guys are brilliant because you taught him a different language. Now when he learns English, his mind is going to be that much more developed and he's probably going to end up being smarter. Right? And I went through a lot. Kids would make fun of me, right? I don't remember too much of that. I have some memories of that young, right? But that was a process in itself. So when we say cultural stereotypes and expectations, what I'm referring to is a lot of those things that you hold yourself to or that other people expect you to do. Even growing up amongst my peer group, right? I remember, and this is later on when I got into real estate and really started becoming a public speaker and really enhancing my communication skills, I would get shit from people that I knew back home, right? Especially now that I'm in Miami, but even before then. Hey, bro, how come you're talking like that now, fool? What's going on? I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, man, you sound all whitewashed now. How come you're speaking like, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Stupid. So because I don't use street or hood lingo and I actually enunciate and I speak this language clearly and effectively, I'm a sellout now. I'm whitewashed. I'm not representing La Raza and the Barrio and all that shit. Yet that same person telling me that can't even fucking speak Spanish and doesn't know shit about Spanish culture, even where they're from. Because, most people in Southern California, if you're not from there, are of Mexican descent. I'm not. My family's from South America, right? Cultural expectations and stereotypes. When it's convenient for them, they'll wear you proudly. Oh, I remember when I started getting all the awards. Oh, here's this young Hispanic person. The Latino networks would feature me, right? When it's beneficial for them. When it's not, suddenly I'm a white boy. He doesn't really count. He's light skinned, or he's white and this and that. So when it benefits you to wear me as a Hispanic, you will. But when it doesn't suit the narrative, now I'm a white boy, or I'm not a part of your clique. I'm not good enough. I'm not brown enough, in quotes, whatever the fuck that stupid shit means. That's why I never identified with that shit. I do. And I'm not saying people shouldn't be proud of their culture. Learn your cultures, embrace that shit. That's cool, man. Because we didn't pick where we're from, but you're from where you're from and your family's from where it's from. Understand it, right? And if you want to wear it proudly, good for you, bro. Good for you. I'm not saying anything against that, because there's beauty in different cultures, right? But when that shit starts working against you, or you feel like you have to fly that flag or whatever, and it's detrimental to your growth, you're now making a mistake. Because when I got into the game of public speaking and business and real estate, that's its own game with its own rules. It doesn't give a shit about my culture. It doesn't. And if I want to become better and grow and do what I want to do in life, I can't let anything hold me back. And me doing all these things and speaking better English and building up my business and doing that has done nothing negative towards my culture. There's zero connection there. Like, at all. So where does all this shit come from? You would hear shit like, man, you got to keep it real. What the fuck does that even mean? Keep it real. What does that mean? That I still hang out with the same dummies that I used to hang out with, doing nothing, drinking, smoking, and doing stupid shit, and being immature, being fucking in my 30s and living with my mommy and daddy still? Oh, that's keeping it real? Standing on fucking street corners? See, I was never involved in the street life, but I have a lot of friends from my past that are, whether they're in gangs or, they sold drugs or whatever it is. I know a lot of people like that from my past, from growing up and living in different cities and stuff. Is that keeping it real? Because some of those dudes are dead, some of them are in jail, and some of them still ain't made shit of themselves in their lives. But that's keeping it real? Really? If that's the case, yes, by your stupid terms, I would rather sell out. I don't give a fuck about having respect or recognition in that world. It doesn't matter. Why? Because that shit would hold me back. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be fulfilled. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in, because once I started coming up, I went to those people and said, yo, what I'm doing here is good. Get on, because I know you, I can help you, but you have to participate. I'm not going to force you to do it. How many of them wanted to do it? Zero. How about once I started having success and making money, what did I do? I went back and spoke and donated and sponsored kids teams, elementary schools, high schools, went to speak at colleges, right? And most of you will never know about that because I didn't put it out. I gave back to these same fucking communities that I grew up in and in my surrounding areas in Southern California. And gave those kids shit that I didn't have and talked to them in a way that I was never talked to. And if I still live there, I would probably be doing the same thing. And I'm thinking about doing it out here in Miami too. Why not? To tell them, don't let that shit define you. All those stupid things are ignorant. Okay? My diet and lifestyle now is the antithesis of my culture. It's in my culture to eat a lot of meat and do that type of stuff. I don't eat meat, dude. I don't. But if I wanted to keep it real, I wouldn't be able to follow my diet and lifestyle. I would still have to be doing asado and all that other shit and eating that shit 24/7. And rest in peace to my uncle Salvador. He died recently to stomach cancer because of that fucking diet choice that they have over there and how they eat like shit. I learned better. And I didn't let my culture stop me from living a healthy fucking life. And I made the changes that I want to make. I can't say, well, my culture says I'm supposed to do this. Sorry. What's another one? That our cultures define our carácter, our character, how we are, our attitude. Right? I used to always hear it growing up. Well, Hispanic girls are pissy, right? They have an attitude. And girls of other cultures too. That's stupid. Your culture doesn't fucking magically put an attitude in you or an emotional state. You have control over that. But that's an easy way for somebody to cop out or make an excuse. Or they wear it proudly. Yeah, I'm Hispanic, so I have an attitude. Stupid, man. When did that become a badge of honor? How about the other ones? If you pay attention, it's cool to tell people you're from the hood. In what fucking world does that make sense? Anybody who's in poverty or living in the hood doesn't want to fucking be there. It sucks not having money. It sucks being poor. Go visit some of my family in South America where they don't have paved roads and they barely have enough fucking money to keep a roof over their head and feed their children. That shit is not cool. And you want to celebrate that? Why? For some Instagram clout or to make people think you're cool? A bunch of fucking nobodies? What is going on here? Why is that cool? And why do people embrace that? That's stupid. And I would notice it even growing up and even now. Everyone wants to make where they're from sound more hood. It's stupid, bro. I wish I could be like, yeah, I grew up in Beverly Hills like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That would have been fucking great. But why? Because then people will make fun of them. Why? Because they didn't have it. So the only way they can make themselves feel better is by making fun of that person and bashing them. And people feed into this shit. They share it on social media. They talk about it. Look at the comment sections and all the fucking ignorance there. And a lot of people yip yap online because they can get away with it. They would never tell you that shit in person. And if they did, they'd probably get the taste slapped out of their mouth. This is what the world has become. They think you're white, you're Hispanic, you're black, you're Asian. You're supposed to fit these particular things. Now, is that true? Now, there's innocent ones where we laugh, like where they make fun of our diet and what we eat and all that shit. Whatever, dude. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your mannerisms, how you walk, how you speak, how you dress, your taste in music. Is it really governed by that? Do you feel like, well, I need to listen to rap because I'm Hispanic or I'm black, so I need to because I got to keep it real? That's stupid, dude. You see? But we don't talk about these things because, well, like even that. I can't talk about it because I'm light-skinned. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. And if you don't like it, turn this shit off. I don't care because facts are facts. It doesn't matter if I'm white, black, Asian, alien, purple, pink. It doesn't fucking matter. If I speak a fact, it's a fact. It doesn't matter who the fuck is saying it. That's another stupid thing in our culture. You see? But people will let that stop them. Now, imagine if I let that stop them. I wouldn't be speaking and using my platforms like I am. Well, sorry, I'm not Hispanic enough. I can't speak on that. I can speak up. Man, I grew up in that fucking culture. I can fucking speak on it if I want to speak as a person representing that culture. Of course. And the same motherfuckers telling me that don't even speak Spanish and don't know shit about the culture. Yet they will tell me something because their skin is 1 or 2 tones darker than mine. That is stupid. If we're going to talk facts, I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you look like, what language you speak. If we're speaking facts, please speak the facts. It doesn't matter. Right? I don't care, again, where you're from. 2 + 2 = 4. It doesn't matter. Well, you can't say it because you're not a math professor. What? Who do you think you are? It's like, shut up, dude. Attack the argument, the facts. Stop attacking me. It makes no sense. The idea and the fact is the idea and the fact, independent of who says it. And I see people so boggled down with this. I remember starting out in real estate, and some of the people who worked with me wouldn't go to nicer neighborhoods because they thought, I don't care what they said, internally, they thought they didn't belong there. And I would tell them, what are you talking about, bro? Because if you look in the Hispanic culture a lot, it's very put your head down, we're less than others, and we get taught that shit. That's why a lot of them don't go for more. Notice when you go to a lot of places, you see, immigrant workers and Hispanic workers with these jobs, right? Like cleaning in the hotels and that kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with the work. But many of them, if they had a choice, wouldn't do that. But many of them are taught that's the best you can get and don't go for more. That's in our fucking culture, bro. I remember being a kid and being told that people who have money are doing something wrong or they're evil. I was taught that shit. Stupid. And if I didn't open my eyes and ears and refuse to accept it and actually learn what's going on and observe the real world, I would be stuck in that. And I wouldn't be the person that you're following today or listening to, nor would I have achieved everything that I've achieved. Because I would have been told, because you were born in this family and this country, you ain't going to be shit, or this is the max you can do. But see, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. Well, if you weren't born rich, you're not going to be rich. If you were born poor, you're going to be poor. Dumb, dude. Why do you think millions of people every year want to come to this country? They're pouring into this country from places like where my family is from. Because what we have here is unique. Where you can come to a land and it doesn't matter where you're from, what language you speak, or what you look like, you can make something of yourself. That still exists. But all the powers that be will tell you, no, it doesn't. Because you're a woman, or you're this, or you're that. It's stupid. Why? Because if you believe it, they've crippled you mentally. That's the problem. And you think you can't get it. And if they can convince you that you can't get it, and you don't think you can get it, then it doesn't matter what opportunity is given to you. You won't take it. They've even polled young people. They've polled people and said, do you think it's this issue, this issue, or this issue, or this issue? Or do you think it's the fact that you're not applying yourself and taking advantage of all the opportunities out there? They did that study even in the 90s, and an overwhelming 80-90% said it wasn't any of these other buzzword issues. It was them not taking advantage of the opportunities. Bingo. There you go. But we won't admit it. Why? Because then the narrative crumbles and people have to look in the mirror and say, uh-oh, I didn't do it because of the person staring back at me right now in the mirror. I have to take responsibility and admit I fucked up. But it's easy to cop out. Well, I can't because I'm young, right? I'm young from an immigrant family. It's tough. I grew up without money, right? I wasn't taught these things. I'm not a business person. I come from, a family of 9-to-5ers. The business stuff is just not me. I can't do it. They wouldn't accept me in that world because of where I'm from. I could say that dumb shit and people would be like, yeah, bro, you're right. Stupid what I said. Ignorant and stupid. But if I believe that, it didn't matter if I had all the mentors in the world. Nothing would happen because I would just believe I'm some son of, immigrants. And then I remember some of these people that our family would congregate with at these family parties. They would go to school and get brainwashed and then come back and tell our families, yeah, we can't do shit because we're immigrants, we have to fight for the little bit and this and that. And I'm looking around like, what the fuck you talking about, dude? They taught you that bullshit ass fucking line in school and you're perpetuating it to other people, brainwashing them. That's not a fact. That's just some fucking stupid shit that you were taught and you believed it. And I like challenging these things because it brings up good conversations. And I have these conversations with people out on the street from people from all different places and all walks of life. And sometimes the conversations get heated. I love it because I want to challenge that shit. I remember people telling me too, when I was coming up in real estate, well, it's because you're taller. You look good in a suit. I was like, motherfucker, I've trained and helped people of all races, genders, religions. And they've all followed the formula. And guess what? They've all had success. It doesn't fucking matter. You see? But the difference is you came at me with that bullshit. They came in saying, what do I need to do to win? Aha, there we go. That's the right question, my friend. Here you go. Go win. And they can win. Now, I can't say that for everywhere in the world. But here, yes, that can be done. And when I say do not let cultural stereotypes define you, that's going to be particular to all of you because most people listening to this are going to be from different cultures, races, religions. That's fine. But if you're faced with a decision where your personal growth is stopped by your culture, you have to make a decision. And for many of you, the life that you want, there will be a block at some point from what somebody taught you or what you think you're supposed to do, think, be, speak, or something like that. And you're going to have to make a hard decision. What are you going to do? Because either way you go, you're going to deal with bullshit. You're going to have personal regret and guilt if you choose to go this way, or if you go this way and you go against your culture, as they say, you're going to get shit from everybody. Either way, you're going to get shit and resistance and problems and criticism and judgment. You want the life led by other people and expectations and things outside of you, or do you want to live the life led by your own compass and what you want to do and what you want to achieve? Because that's what this is about. And I'm sure later on in the recording, I'll get a bunch of stupid comments, especially if it gets, well, you can't, who are you? It's stupid. It's stupid. It's people who won't listen to what I'm actually saying and who are being confined by the very title and ideas of what I'm putting here. And this has been just spread to everybody in my community and other communities. You can't do this because of that. That shit they're teaching in schools now is pathetic. They'll tell a kid, oh, you're too brown, you're too black, you're too this, you're the victim. Why would you cripple a child like that? That should be outlawed. People should be sent to jail for teaching that to children. Children don't think that way, dude. Who are you to poison their fucking mind like that? That's insane. That's worse than physical abuse. That's mental abuse. That's 1,000,000 times worse. But hey, I would be labeled an extremist or crazy for saying that, because who am I to judge a teacher or a curriculum or the school, blah, blah, blah. Right back to that argument. Who are you to say that? What I said is a fact. Doesn't matter who's saying it. Because even if I was a parent and my child was in the school and I went to the teacher's board and I said that, they would tell me the same shit. We're accredited professionals. You're just a parent. Shut up and listen. And it hurts to see people fall prey to this type of stuff. It really does. It really does. And I like bringing up these, in quotes, sensitive subjects because it slaps a lot of people in the face and they need to take a hard look at themselves to say, am I holding myself back? Because me and a lot of other people were. This was a tough subject for me growing up because I remember starting to hear this shit like when you get into middle school, right? You get a little bit older, kids get cruel and they talk shit. And then I remember like a lot of the Mexican guys were like, hey, bro, are you Mexican? Like we don't really know. And then other people would try to make fun of me, right? And you say, oh, well, you're kind of light skinned and this and that. And I would deal with a lot of that bullshit growing up. I really would, and people would make fun of me when I was a kid for a lot of stuff. I remember not even identifying with the American culture for the most part because a lot of my American friends, I missed my family because, again, it was me and my parents here, and all of our family was back in South America. My uncles, my cousins, I missed having them, grandmas, right, grandpas. And then they have their family here, and they're like, I got to go, see my family this weekend. I'm like, dude, I don't have my family here, and you're complaining about it. What the fuck? That's fucked up. That's messed up. I would love for them to be here. You have them, and you don't want to see them, right? So a lot of like internal conflict, like, am I American? Am I this? Am I that? Like, so I dealt with that shit too, you see? But I never let it fuck with me. I made a decision early on. My dad raised me playing soccer, right? My dad was a stud. My dad was a stud in soccer, right? He gave up his soccer dream of playing professional because my grandfather, his father died when my dad was 14, and he had to go work full time to support his mother, my grandma. And he had to give it up. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for my father. That's some tough shit. And when I was a kid, and I'm sure when my dad was raising me, I haven't had this conversation with him, he raised me playing soccer, right? And I'm sure it broke his heart when I said, I want to play basketball, dude. But he ran with it. I naturally gravitated more towards basketball, maybe because I grew up in the States. I don't know. But I fell in love with it. Never really liked soccer. But he was like, cool, let's do it. If you're going to play basketball, fucking play basketball and give it your all. And he supported that. He didn't say, no, you need to, right? Imagine if he wanted to live vicariously through me. Imagine if he forced the culture on me. I remember even going when I was older, 2021, back to South America. And some people are like, what are you doing? I would dribble a basketball. They didn't even know what it was. They're like, what the fuck is that? Or they kind of know the sport, but they've never really seen it. They don't know much about it. Just like here, you see a basketball court every 2 blocks. In South America, there's a soccer field every 2 blocks. So imagine, well, I can't play basketball. It's in my blood. I got to do this. No, dude, it's silly. But we'll hold on to that, right? Because we take an overwhelming amount of pride, so much pride that it turns into your own detriment. It works against you, whether that's your diet, your lifestyle, the music you listen to, the customs, the thought patterns. Just like, well, I'm a man's man. I don't read because, only sissies read. That's stupid, man. You want to be a badass warrior, you also have to be intelligent. Study some of the old warriors of the past, especially the samurai and stuff like that. Motherfuckers were intelligent as hell. Super self-aware, super disciplined, physically and mentally and emotionally. Warrior scholars. You see, but people will put themselves off to this shit. Oh no, I can't do that because of my culture or this or that. It's stupid. All you do is create artificial barriers in front of you when you do this. And it makes you miserable because you're holding on to some identity that's not even really yours and that deep down inside you don't really want because you're going against your own desire because of some arbitrary thing. Oh, it's tradition to do this. Well, if it's tradition to kill myself, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm sorry. Fuck the tradition. Take that tradition and shove it up your ass if it's to kill myself. I'm not going to kill myself. Right? I remember kids being made fun of for going to the library or being on the debate team or playing chess, right? People wanting to be more intelligent and exercise certain things and interests of theirs were made fun of, and they didn't do it because of the ridicule of the group. That's sad. That's why I've always had an internal thing against bullies. And every time, even as an adult, I've witnessed somebody try to bully somebody else, I always step in. I'll never forget. I remember going to a gas station by where I used to live back in California, and I knew the worker there. He was an immigrant who had just come from Mexico. We always spoke in Spanish. Cool guy. One time, this guy in front of me is getting mad at him because this dude that came in had a weird English accent, like not from England, but in the States, right? And he was speaking fast and he was pissed off and the guy couldn't understand him. So he started being a dick to him and he's like, hey, you need to fucking go back to Mexico. I was like, whoa, bro, shut the fuck up. Don't be an asshole to him. He's just doing his job. I can't even understand you. Of course he's not going to understand you, bro. Don't be a dick. I stopped them because I don't like when people bully people. Right? That's why when I see those videos go viral of people getting jumped by 10 people, you best believe I would step in and be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Get out of here. Seen it happen at airports and a bunch of places. Stupid. I don't like bullies, man. If you're a bully, you're a fucking pussy. Come see me. Come try to bully me and see what happens to you before you bully somebody else, asshole. And I was small when I was a kid, right? And I got bullied too, but best believe the bullies didn't fuck with me because I would fight back. Even if I got my ass kicked, which I did by people twice my size, I still would fight back. And I would stand up for other people. Okay? Now that's a side point. That's a side point. But if I follow the advice of my family, don't get too much attention, keep your head down, mind your own business, I wouldn't be doing that. But I would feel like shit internally because I would have wanted to help that person or say something and speak up, and I didn't. So this shit permeates literally every aspect of your existence to where you look in the mirror, how you truly view yourself versus what they say may be in conflict, and you will go with what they say versus how you want to be, which is a problem, which is a recipe for disaster and lack of fulfillment, lack of motivation, and living a life that isn't yours, but living a life of other people's expectations of you, which is a prison sentence, eternal prison sentence. And you don't want to do that. The moment I broke free from that, life became my oyster. You think people supported me playing basketball? You think they really did? Most people didn't. You think people supported me when I decided to get my real estate license and be an entrepreneur? Hell no. Get a real job. Help your parents. You're an asshole. I heard it all, dude. which is why I always had a tremendous chip on my shoulder because I felt like it was me against the fucking world. But that never stopped me. I'm willing to go at it alone if I'm on my path. I will not sacrifice my path just to be around people, to be around them. Fuck that. I'll create my own pride of lions. Watch me. And I'll do it my way. My way. I never let my culture define me, even though I know a lot about it, even though I speak Spanish fluently and all that stuff. It doesn't define me. I don't fall into those stereotypes just because. It's stupid. My family in South America made fun of me 10 years ago when I radically changed my diet and my lifestyle. They made fun of me. Oh, you don't eat meat anymore, right? You're a imposter, right? If I translate it all to English, you're an imposter. You don't do this. I was like, whatever, dude. Stupid. Stupid. Imagine if I went with what they said. And now, I remember when my uncle died, again, rest in peace to my uncle, Salvador. Great guy, man. I remember talking to them. I said, you don't think y'all's diet and lifestyle had anything to do with him getting stomach cancer? Crickets. I didn't hear shit from them. And whenever any of them got sick, who would they come running to for advice on health? Me, because I haven't been fucking sick in 10 years. And if I ever feel under the weather at all, it's gone within hours out of my system. They'll make fun of me, but when something's wrong, who do they come running to? Me. Which shows deep down inside they know, but they're holding on to that bullshit because they feel they need to identify with it. That's the trap in that. Whenever you accept something as a part of your identity and who you are, be very careful of what that is, because even if it's to your own detriment, you will hold on to it until you let it go. And if holding on to it means it's killing you, you will allow that to happen willingly. And then deep down inside, you'll be miserable because you know what you're doing. You're aware of it. You just don't want to admit it. That's how deep this shit goes. It's crazy. But seeing people hold themselves back because of their culture and having it destroy them or hold them back is a sad sight to see. Do not support this shit. Which is why when I see, like as an example, what I spoke about earlier, if I ever hear somebody being made fun of for speaking clearly, oh, you're whitewashed and this and that, I stand up for them because that's stupid. Speaking clearly is not being whitewashed. You're just a more effective communicator. You're not a sellout because you wear a suit and you're sharp and you're a part of the business world. You leveled up. That's what you did. You decided to play the game and win. You're not a fucking sellout. That's stupid. So don't cave into this unnecessary, irrelevant, stupid, pointless pressure from people, whoever it may be. I changed my life because of this stuff. And I don't care the flack that I get. And I've gotten flack. Before I got canceled and all that, oh, I get a tremendous amount of pushback from me. You can't speak for us and blah, blah, blah. I was like, shut the fuck up, man. Because anybody telling me that was a loser. There was nobody in a high, prestigious, respected position who was successful, who was telling me that. It was all like people that I used to know and, family, friends, and people who just were miserable, gossip, drama, right? Below average people, miserable, broke, right? Unhappy. Those are the people that give me shit. I don't see top executives and top respected, professionals giving me shit. Never. And if they ever did, in the rare case, it's just because they don't like me on a personal level. I don't like his style. Cool. I don't care. That's an opinion. You're allowed to have it. Congratulations. Cool. Okay, guys, that's it for this one. I might do another episode on this. We'll see, and maybe invite some people and we can have a little chat about it. Appreciate the support. Check out all the stuff, the Precise Communication Challenge, the Agagi program, all that stuff on the website. I also have a ton of old courses and products you can look through on the website that might help you too. All right. Have a good night. See you on the next one. Peace.